My name is Patrick Valentine. Welcome to my YouTube channel. This is where I play my games. Even talk about wrestling. Even talk about anime. I can't get no satisfaction. Hell yeah! Completing every game to 100%, even if it means it'll be very tough. Get to the end. I will push hard to reach the end, even if it may seem tough. Complete the game. It doesn't matter what I play, I will achieve victory. No, you will see my gaming prowess that will take me to the end. Yes, it doesn't matter what I play, I will push my limits. You will see me reach to the very end. Yes, welcome to my channel. My gaming skills will take me to the end. NXT Vengeance Day. So I wanted to get my thoughts on this really quick. So this ain't going to be a really long review. This is just going to be me going over the results and giving you guys my thoughts and opinions. And also maybe a little bit of mini ranting every now and then, because I've always got to get something off my chest, because there's always going to be people whinging about something, as always. The opening match was Stephanie Vaquer defeating Fallon Henley to become the NXT Women's North American Champion after 15 minutes. This was actually a great match, and this was the correct result. I think this was the correct result. And Stephanie Vaquer, I still believe she never should have lost to Shotzi. It was still very unnecessary to have Stephanie Vaquer lose to Shotzi, in my opinion. It was still super unnecessary. They really should have just not even bothered doing that. So, but, you know, this is the land of WWE. But for some reason, some people now think, well, hey, yeah, we all agree she never should have lost to Shotzi, but she won the title now, so that should now mean the loss to Shotzi shouldn't be that bad now. Like, literally, I've heard people say that. People now think because she's won the title, the loss to Shotzi shouldn't be looked at as a bad thing. While it is great that Stephanie Vaquer did win the title, I still say it was unnecessary to have Stephanie Vaquer lose to Shotzi. I still say it was unnecessary because there was no reason for the loss to transpire. But overall, yes, I am glad Stephanie Vaquer is now the North American Champion, and nice. It's good for her. It's good for her. I do not want a winner takes all between Vaquer and Julia, because I've heard some people suggest there may be a winner takes all between Vaquer and Julia in NXT, and I'm going to say no. I do not want to see that. I do not want to see that. It would be completely unnecessary, and we do not want to see any more double champions. Nathan Fraser and Axiom, or Fraxium as they're called, defeat Josh Briggs and Yoshiki Inamura. I'm not even sure how to say that guy's name. So, Josh Briggs went from being in a tag team with Brooks Jensen to now being in a tag team with some Japanese guy I've never even heard of. Like, why can't we just have Brooks Jensen, Josh Briggs, and Fallon Henley back together, but this time as a heel trio? Like, why not as a heel trio instead of a face trio? But I guess, you know, it is what it is. I don't really care. I don't really care for Josh Briggs. I was a big fan of his work with Brooks, but now I just don't really care about him. Same thing with Brooks. I don't really care for him now that he's with Shawn Spears. I feel like I only liked them together when they were still teaming together, but now it's just, the only one I care about now is Fallon Henley, while the other two I just don't really care all that much about. So, and I think that's a big problem. I think it just shows you how the fans really liked Brooks and Jensen together, Brooks and Briggs together, I should say. That's the same person. You guys get what I mean. Like, Briggs and Jensen. It shows that people really liked Briggs and Jensen together. Eddie Thorpe would go on to defeat Trick Williams in a strap match. Hopefully, this is Trick Williams's final night in NXT. Hopefully, he gets called up to the main roster soon. But, at the same time, considering Triple H's history with calling people up to the main roster and literally having no plans for them, it would probably be better if Trick Williams does stay in NXT, because you don't want to call him up to the main roster and literally have nothing planned for him. So, and then he gets released within a few months. So, I think it'd be best that, in my opinion, from now on, Triple H should only call people up if he has plans for them. But if he does not have any plans for the people he calls up, like Dijak and now Blair Davenport, just don't call them up at all. And I do not want to hear this call them up to get them out of NXT excuse. I do not want to hear that as a lame excuse for why people are getting called up. It's a stupid excuse. It's a dumb reason to call people out of NXT. Call people up only if you have plans. That's how it should be from now on. Plans for them? Either you have plans for them when you call them up, or don't call them up at all. That should be a new rule in the land of WWE. Ethan Page take on Javon Evans. I don't really know much about this Javon guy, but he's alright, I suppose. He's alright. Ethan Page able to get the win over him. And that's really all I can say. Apparently, WWE debuted a new faction. Apparently a new faction debuted. And it's giving me serious Retribution vibes. I saw like a clip of it. Like, it's giving me Retribution vibes. Like, they've got like not like face masks. It's like those cloths that thugs would wear. Like, they have like a cloth over their face. That kind of thing. It's like what groups of thugs would usually have. Bandanas across their face. But yeah, I can't say I'm a fan of that. Like, if it's just another Retribution, or some people are even saying it's a Shield 2.0. I mean, Jesus Christ, we do not need another faction being compared to the Shield. I mean, we've seen enough of that already. Obafemi took on A-Town Down Under in a triple threat, and Grayson Waller. I saw people ridiculing Grayson Waller online for costing Austin Theory the NXT Championship, and I'm just thinking to myself, it's a triple threat match. It's a triple threat match. Do we really need to think Grayson Waller cost Austin Theory the title when it's a triple threat match? I mean, come on. If it was a handicap match, then maybe I would get it. But it's a triple threat match. Grayson Waller didn't screw Austin Theory out of anything. It's a triple threat match. And it's a triple threat match. Grayson Waller didn't screw Austin Theory out of anything. While I do want to see A-Town Down Under break up, and I've been an advocate for that for a while, I also don't want to see Austin Theory as a good guy, because I guarantee you, good guy Austin Theory isn't going to get over at all. It may get over to all the idiots on social media. It may make all the idiots on social media happy for him, but I highly doubt actual in crowds, like actual live crowds, would be invested in a babyface Austin Theory. Like, they would have to do some serious changing to Austin Theory's character if you want to make him a likable guy. I would much rather Grayson Waller turn face, but not even Grayson Waller's not even a likable guy. Like, not even Grayson Waller can be looked at as a likable guy, and that's the problem here. When you want to turn one of these guys babyface, neither guy are likable. Just split them up just by keeping them both heels. Like, neither guy you don't have to turn one or the other face. You can still break them up just by keeping them both heels. And the main event was Julia defending her title against Bayley, Roxanne, and Cora Jade. Now, one thing I find really funny, because I should have mentioned this when I talked about Stephanie Vakir's match. Booker T apparently criticized Stephanie Vakir for immediately challenging for a championship upon being debuted, because she debuted not too long ago, and now for some reason he's criticizing her for, you can't just have someone walk in and challenge for a title, several months into their career. And I'm thinking to myself, Booker T, your girl Roxanne Perez literally did that. Your girl Roxanne Perez did that. Do I have to go over her rookie year? Do I have to literally tell everybody Roxanne Perez in her rookie year won the NXT Breakout Tournament, Iron Survivor, NXT Women's Tag Team title with Cora Jade, and dethroned Mandy Rose, all in her rookie year. She did 4 of those things in her rookie year. And Booker T has the nerve to say Stephanie Vakir can't just waltz in and become a champion within the first few months of her career, and he's gonna, and then his girl, the girl he trains, Roxanne Perez, literally does that. So, and of course, it's fine for Roxanne to do it because it's his girl, it's the girl he trained, but seriously, that has to be the stupidest argument I heard on commentary. I'm just like, wow, Booker, you got no room. You have literally no room to say that about Stephanie. But yeah, this Fatal 4-Way was fantastic. It's really been the it's really been the night of women's main events. Ring of Honor in Australia, the Global War, they had a women's main event with Athena and Alex Winderson. AEW's Grand Slam Australia had Mariah May and Toni Storm in the main event, and now Vengeance Day has the women in the main event. See, Triple H, this is how you book women's wrestling. This is how you book the women's division. But of course, he doesn't know how to book the women's division. He treats them like they're the Divas division. So Julia ultimately wins the match, and also, I'm surprised no one ripped Cora Jade a new one for attacking Roxanne Perez during the match. Because Cora Jade delivered her finishing move on Roxanne Perez. Like I said before, like how people ripped Grayson Waller a new one for costing, in quotations, Austin Theory the NXT Championship, I'm surprised no one ripped Cora Jade a new one for attacking Roxanne Perez. But, I guess because it's a Fatal 4-Way, it was perfectly fine. Right? But again, it was a triple threat match for the NXT one, and people ripped Grayson Waller a new one for costing, in quotations, Austin Theory the NXT Championship. So I guess it's different here with Cora and Roxanne, apparently, because I didn't hear anyone complaining about Cora Jade costing Roxanne the NXT Women's Championship. And, surprisingly, despite that I said that Cora Jade was literally added to the match just to get pinned, and I've been specifically saying that the only person that should be getting pinned is Roxanne Perez, due to her being called up to the main roster on Monday tomorrow on Raw, they literally did have Roxanne Perez get pinned. So, good job, Shawn Michaels. You made the right decision. Despite Roxanne being your golden girl, you made the right decision to have the person that is getting called up and leaving NXT to take the fall. I still think Cora Jade being added was a bit unnecessary, but you know what? At least they gave her a title shot, I suppose. But yeah, with Stephanie Vakir and Julia both now champions, I am now officially giving up on Cora Jade officially winning a title in NXT. She is not beating Stephanie or Julia. Cora Jade is just going to be... She is going to be the Becky Lynch, the Carmella, the Alexa Bliss, and all the other girls that have never been NXT Women's Champion. Well, sorry, I shouldn't add Becky Lynch to that list, because she did win the NXT Women's Championship 2 years ago. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have added Becky to that list. The Carmellas, the Alexa Blisses, that gets brought up to the main roster without never winning any major NXT championships. So Stephanie Vakir came out to celebrate with Julia because they're longtime friends. And we hear some familiar sirens, and out comes Jordynne Grace. For the third time, Jordynne Grace has debuted in WWE. I think it's also 4 times. I think it's 4 times she's debuted. She debuted as Roxanne's mystery opponent at Vengeance Day. She returned at another point, because she was a part of the NXT 2300 show. Then she, well, actually, I think it's 5 times, because she debuted at Royal Rumble last year, debuted again at NXT Vengeance Day, debuted again during 2300, because she was on Zaria's team, when Zaria's team pinned Roxanne in that 10-woman's tag. And then she re-debuts again at the Royal Rumble, this time as an official WWE wrestler, and debuts yet again. So 5 times Jordynne Grace has debuted in WWE. The 5 debuts of Jordynne Grace. So Jordynne Grace has literally appeared 5 times on WWE television as a debut, which I think is kind of hilarious, but also really damn stupid. Like, you can only debut someone once. You can only debut someone 1 time. But hey, you know what? It's whatever. Different circumstances, I guess. The last 3 debuts was a different circumstance. She was a member of TNA during that time. But the one at Vengeance Day and Royal Rumble this year matters more, because now she's officially a WWE superstar. But, you know, it is what it is. So overall, I thought the show was good. And the women's matches were obviously the highlights for me. I think Fallon Henley had a good run as North American champion. But I find it hilarious that people already have turned on Julia and Stephanie Vakir, because I'm seeing people calling them the NXT Hogans. I'm just thinking to myself, Jesus Christ, everyone's a frickin' Hogan. Like, literally every single wrestler's a Hogan, and I'm hearing people saying that Kalani Jordan and Lash Legend and all these other girls should be pushed over Julia and Stephanie Vakir. I mean, like, come on, guys. Like, really? Like, Kalani Jordan literally had her push. She was the first ever North American champion. Lash Legend had her push. Well, she is getting pushed, but just not the way the fans want her pushed. When they say a push, they mean win a title, even though she's being heavily featured. That's still a push. Heavily featuring someone is still a push. Like, they don't always have to be champions. Like, having them with a title isn't always a push, you know? They can still be featured weekly, and that still can be considered a push. You know what I mean? But yeah, but of course, people are literally having a whinge because Stephanie and Julia just arrive immediately and they're immediately champions. Well, newsflash for you. If you sign 2 huge names from Stardom and CMLL, of course you're going to push them. Of course you're going to make them champions. You would be foolish if you did not. So, that's the end of this little review, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hit that like button, subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video.